first ridge. Beautiful morning. Always nice when the sun starts peeking up over the horizon. Gotta catch my breath. I'm 2 miles in. And remember this hill here. We're gonna come back to that. But today I am reviewing the Arc'teryx Sylan 2, a shoe that is effectively replacing the Sylan Pro, and of course is the next iteration of the Sylan lineup. A shoe that is made for FKTs, for races, for Strava crowns, and of course setting those personal bests, which I have done in this shoe. And despite all of its very positive qualities and the positive experience that I've had in the shoe, I've also had one major negative drawback. There's a flaw in the shoe, at least one that I experienced, with a simple fix that shouldn't need to be fixed in the first place. Thank you for being here. Please consider subscribing to the channel. I'm trying to reach 10,000 subscribers. All you got to do is subscribe. I'll produce the content. I'm going to be talking about the overall build quality and the comfort of the Sylan 2, the performance and my experience in the shoe, as well as the value, and I'll compare it to a couple other shoes that compete in the same ish price range. Okay, with that, again, I'm 2 miles into this run. I'm going to be doing close to 11 miles. And yeah, just my normal stomping grounds, good variety of terrain. Place that I think this shoe bodes well in. But I'm gonna continue on for quite a few more miles, and then we'll come back and talk about the shoe in some more depth. But voiceover Chad, why don't you tell us about some of the specs and features of the Arc'teryx Sylan 2?
Arc'teryx states, built for trail runners and FKTs, the Sylan 2 is for mountain runners looking to move fast and maximize efficiency. As for those specs and features, you get an engineered jacquard knit dual layer upper, which is a super light blend of nylon, TPU, and TPE. You also get TPU overlays for added durability and protection, an integrated stretch collar and sock-like fit, a lace garage, which allows the laces to be tucked away, supercritical foam and TPEE outer layer foam midsole. A carbon fiber composite plate adds extra stability. A Vibram Megagrip Litebase outsole with stepped 4.5 and 3.5 millimeter lugs. 32 millimeters of heel stack and 26 millimeters of toe stack, but it does feel like a little bit more than that for that 6 millimeter drop, weighing in at 270 grams or 9.52 ounces, and a US MSRP of $220. Arc'teryx did send me this shoe for the purpose of review, but know that all thoughts and opinions are otherwise strictly my own. Chad, back over to you on the trails.
Here is the second ridge on the route. Always a beautiful view. I am going to run down through the valley, up on the hillside here, just big lollipop loop, come back and whoop, right back to this spot. And then I think we can talk about the shoe. On with the run. Woo. Morning. Good job. Made it. Back to the top. Woo. Woo. This drop's a little curious. Alright, I'm going to be going down through there and then through the be there in the mountains. Back over to the first ridge where we came from originally. But as I traverse my way over there, let's talk about the overall build quality and the comfort of the Arc'teryx Sylan 2. So I've taken this shoe out for a good handful of runs, about 50 miles as of this recording. I feel that Arc'teryx, one, they make great shoes, and the Sylan 2 is no exception to that. It is a high quality build and a design, number two, overall thought out design. Overall, because there is one major flaw or drawback in this shoe. So first off, everything came together really well. Build quality, just top notch. I'm gonna come out and say it. High quality, build quality gets a thumbs up for sure. I like the upper material. It's very lightweight, very breathable. In addition to that lightweight and breathable upper material, it's very similar to like a matrix upper. You also get a jacquard knit, wraps around the ankle and is lined inside the shoe. So it is kind of a dual layer setup. Makes it a little bit more comfortable, slightly less breathable, although the material on the inside of the shoe that lines the entire shoe is extremely thin and it is breathable. So I feel the air moving through the shoe, and even though there is no padding in the tongue area of the shoe, I don't really feel the laces across the top of my foot. That is, if you don't over tighten them. I have done that and then had to loosen them again. I also really like, from a design perspective, the lace garage. So right here you can tuck in all of your laces. I don't feel it across the top right here. So yeah, just overall very comfortable, nice secure hold, no rubbing or hot spots anywhere across the top of my foot. You also get some very good overlays, dual overlays in the toe box, although it's otherwise not really a strong toe protect, but you do get some good abrasion resistance there. Those overlays extend along the entire side of the shoe and of course wrap around the ankle and extend across the eyelet chain. So just overall very, very good design. Now, if you're looking very closely, here's the flaw in this shoe. So on my very first run, I got some rubbing in my Achilles, and in fact I still have a little scab 2.5 weeks later on the back of my Achilles here. So what I've had to do, it wraps around your foot or your ankle to help keep the debris and rocks out, which is effective. However, because of that design back here, it just rubbed right into the back of my ankle, even with taller socks. So what I've done is I've just folded the back of that down, just like that there, that you can see, and that prevents it from digging into my heel. I still get a good heel hold because of the padding that's on the inside here, but folding the back down did stop that Achilles rub. I don't feel it rubbing into my Achilles at all. The downside, however, is that rocks do tend to get in here just a little bit more easily. So I consider this not very well thought out when it comes to the design. Obviously it impacts comfort, makes it very uncomfortable, and I had to do a little silly fix to address that. Otherwise, comfort is top notch. Underfoot feel excellent. The midsole, that nitrogen infused and TPEE midsole, is amazing. Feels really good on the trails, really regardless of your pace, although the shoe is extremely rewarding when you start to pick up the pace. It has a nice rocker, which helps to encourage some good, I need to watch my step. The shoe has a nice rocker as well, which is comfortable when you're just cruising. It helps you kind of roll through from midfoot through toe off, and then of course becomes rewarding at those faster pace efforts. I would not consider this a high stack shoe. It comes in at about 32 millimeters in the heel, although it feels a little higher or higher stack than 32 millimeters. I'm not sure if that's the outsole lugs that I'm feeling or something else, but man, this midsole, I said it before, but it really does feel good. Feels good on the downhill, offers just the right amount of cushioning, and then again, when you pick up the pace, good golly, it is fantastic. And then that outsole rubber, the Vibram Megagrip Litebase, so it's about 30% lighter than their standard outsole. Excellent, high quality, no concerns there. I think it'll last a very long time. Those lugs are well designed and grip into anything and everything. So build quality, excellent build quality. So comfort, I would give a full-on thumbs up, except there's that Achilles issue. If you fold down the back so you don't get that Achilles rub, then the comfort definitely improves. I went true to size, my typical 9.5, and worked great for me. Some people, some other reviewers are recommending to size down half a size. I could see where they're coming from, but I also don't know that I would necessarily recommend you size down unless you're between sizes. Then maybe size down, you have enough length in that toe box. This shoe is not a wide fitting shoe. It's more of a sporty fit, but there is a comfortable amount of room in the toe box, again, being more sporty around the midfoot and the ankle area of your foot. After all, this shoe is made for those higher paced efforts, and I think that's right where it feels at home. So with that, let's talk about performance. Alrighty, performance. A few things that I've really liked about the Sylan 2. Number one, the midsole, that underfoot feel. It's fantastic. It's soft yet bouncy and responsive. It's really rewarding, especially as you start to pick up the pace. The more you put into it, the more it gives back. It's just such a fun midsole and shoe in general to run in. Remember when I said earlier, remember this hill? And remember this hill. Yesterday, I came out here and ran that hill. I was feeling good, so I decided to push the pace and go for a personal best. And sure enough, Strava rewarded me with a PR. And I credit that to, one, feeling good and getting fit, and then number two, also because of the shoe.
Post-edit Chad here. It's worth calling out that I have ran that segment 258 times. So setting a PR is a big deal.
Second thing I like, the underfoot ground feeling. The Sylan 2 does a good job at communicating what's going on underfoot. There is no rock plate, and the carbon fiber plate that is in there spreads out around the toe box. So it kind of forks off right here like this around the outside of the front of the shoe, and so you still get good communication with what's going on underfoot. Again, no rock plate, but I don't think you need it in this shoe. The full spread of outsole rubber and enough stack in that midsole offers adequate protection without removing that ground contact feeling. Third thing I like the carbon plate. It does a little bit to maybe propel you and give you a little bit more spring at toe off, but it also does more to actually offer some stability in a shoe that's otherwise very neutral, very adaptable to the trail. I guess I could say that it balances natural movement while offering enough stability to keep things confidently rolling forward. Fourth thing that I like the rocker shape of this shoe. It's not too aggressive, but it does become just very smooth and again rewarding as you transition from whether it's heel to toe off or midfoot through toe off. Good morning. Fifth thing that I really like, the upper, minus the heel rub, but the upper in general, it wraps around your foot in such a sporty, confident fitting way. No foot movement back and forth, just a solid locked in feel. It just hugs your foot and holds it really well, which is great because this is more of a mountain running shoe, made for those technical, you know, races and harder efforts. Number 6, I like the lace garage. I like that you can tuck the laces away. It's not intrusive, keeps things simple. It's a clean design. I just really appreciate that. And the 6th, am I on 6 or 7? I forgot. It doesn't matter. The last thing that I really like about this shoe is the outsole grip. Vibram Megagrip Litebase with stepped 3.5 and 4.5 millimeter lugs. Super confidence inspiring. Really does a good job at gripping, whether it's on wet rocks, flat rocks, loose rocks, dirt, undulating trails, gravel, you name it. It does a amazing job. Even on something like this where the rock is at like about a 30 or 45 degree angle, no problem at all. Future Chad here. I forgot one more thing about performance that I really like about the Sylan 2. It feels lightweight. In fact, it feels lighter than advertised. It's advertised at about 270 grams, which is pretty much the same as the Adidas Graphic TT shoe, but it feels much lighter than advertised. That then adds to the overall rewarding feeling. So performance absolutely gets a thumbs up from me. If I were looking for a good, fast trail shoe to take on a race up to maybe 50K distance, even a 50 miler, I would consider this shoe. It reminds me a lot of the Salomon S-Lab Pulsar 4, another shoe that I really love, which gets into the value of the shoe. $220. That's still a lot of money. I'm still trying to get my head around these $200 priced shoes, you know, and that is competitive. I mentioned the Salomon S-Lab Pulsar 4. The S-Lab Pulsar 4 is a shoe that I really enjoyed. I even used it in my last 50-mile race. That shoe also comes in at around, I believe it's $220, $225, $220, somewhere in there. So it competes exactly in line with the Sylan 2 when it comes to price. I think it's a shoe that you would also consider for the same type of general conditions, although I think the Sylan 2 is slightly more of the mountain technical trail shoe compared to the Pulsar 4. Which one would I rather choose? Honestly, it probably depends on which one's on the best sale. Good morning. But in general, the Sylan 2 is the more rewarding shoe underfoot. I'm sorry, Solomon, I really liked the Pulsar 4, but the Sylan 2's got something going for it. Another shoe that I thought of that does not compete in price is the Hoka Tecton X3. The X3 is probably the better shoe overall, just a little bit more lightweight, a little more bounce underfoot, a little more spring and toe off because of the full carbon plate. But the Tecton X3 is $275, so $55 more expensive. Another shoe that the Sylan 2 reminds me of is the recently reviewed Adidas Arc'teryx Sylan TT, a great technical trail running shoe. Look at all the deer right here. I really enjoyed the Graphic TT, and it is about $45 cheaper if I remember correctly. I think the TT would be the better general ultra shoe and training shoe, but the Sylan 2 still gets the edge when it comes to speed and higher end performance. I'm sure there's a few other shoes to compare the Sylan 2 to, so let me know, drop a comment down below. Let me know what shoe you think it competes and compares with. Let me know if you've had experience running in maybe a competing shoe, or if you've ran in the Sylan 2, and of course what your experience has been. All right, I have about a mile left to get to the car. It's been a wonderful morning. Before I get to the car, I'm gonna dip my hat in some water. Whew. That's cold. That feels good. Have a good one. Enjoy. Whew. Don't drink that water, but man, that felt good on a morning that's starting to warm up. Although, in all fairness, it is not a warm day. I think I'm really gonna suffer when it actually starts getting warm. I have not done any heat training. Made it back to the trailhead. 10.92 miles and about 1,900 feet of elevation gain. I will take it. That was wonderful. A lot of fun. A great run in a pretty awesome shoe. And one that, if I didn't have so many other shoes to review, I would be in this shoe again tomorrow, and the day after that, and the day after that. I'll leave you off with those thoughts. Remember to be consistent, express gratitude, and enjoy every mile, as I have today in the Arc'teryx Sylan 2. I'll see you on the next video. Bye now.